Alright, so this is going to be a second video on how to wrap your hand. Now this is how to wrap your hand for mixed martial arts when you're going to be doing your amateur and your pro fighting, or you just need some extra security. As I said before, don't adjust your television monitor. My hair is pink. Okay, now I got Carlin doing this today. What I'd like to say is I'm going to be going over this really quickly. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be doing isn't going to look exactly the way. It's not going to be super neat. Okay, but rather than having to do speed stop or anything like that, I'll just show you how to do this, and you guys will do it the way you want. Okay, first things first. Per hand, I tend to use two gauzes. Okay, these gauzes don't really cost that much, but I think they're a little bit too expensive to be doing this for every single class that you do. I just completely forgot about that. I recommend always having medical scissors. Okay, what's medical? It has this little protection thing, so when I cut, it's a lot easier to take off, or whenever I need to cut the gauze. Now, basic 101 is to prep before doing your hand. So the simplest way of doing this, you'll see some people that go like this, and they'll measure it out, and they'll go back and forth like this and try to do a big pad. I'm just like, that's great. Well, let's do this the fast way. And the fast way is this way. Okay, simply take your hand and just start wrapping like this. Here I go. Ta-da! Now everybody's a little bit different. You'll see some people prep their tape, and they want to do things very specific. We'll address that issue in just a second. So what I'm going to do... Hi Mom, how you doing? Yeah, that's going on the videotape. Anyway, so from right in here, I'm going to go right over the knuckles. Now, most state regulations prevent you from putting tape on over the knuckles, okay? And basically they want to avoid a cast over. Recording. Okay. So most athletic commissions do not allow tape over the knuckles. Well, gauze is not tape. Unfortunately, some people have a hard time actually understanding that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off, and I'm going to make sure I get the majority of his knuckles, make sure to cover every single one of those knuckles, because some people, you want that pinky covered just in case. Okay, now I'm going to go and I'm going to wrap around several times. Okay, from right in here. 1, 2, 3, I think 4 will be good. 4. Now this is where it gets kind of precarious. Okay, I want to make sure his knuckles are covered. Okay, I usually go mid finger at this particular point. Okay, and then I want to basically start with an X. The X is basically, it starts off as a support mechanism so that the gauze doesn't end up all over the place. Okay. Now you'll hear some people say, can I get some support in the wrist? And the answer is yes, you can get some support in the wrist by doing our little ring around the rosy. Okay, but sometimes you need a little bit more support, so you go double ring around the rosy, whoop, then up and around. Okay. Now remember, athletic commissions are very particular. So you have to ask them what is okay and what isn't okay. If you don't have any padding over here, they do not want to have any gauze showing, and we're going to be addressing that as we go along. Okay. Now at this particular point, Carlin's probably will attest for you, like, oh yeah, I'm actually he's starting to get tighter and tighter as I start to do this. Okay. Going around the palm again. Okay. And we're going to start to secure this. Okay. Around the wrist, making sure that we're immobilizing the wrist just enough to make sure that we are supporting everything, but not too much so that you can't move and grapple. Okay. Now, for the sake of arguing, I'm almost done here. Let's just finish this up. Okay. So normally I don't go this heavy. Okay. The hard part is to remember never to make an X or crisscross on the bottom. Okay. Whenever you go around the palm, it has to go completely around the knuckle and the palm, because they're going to be wanting to grapple, and we're going to be addressing again this opening up the palm in just a second. Okay. So again, we make our X's. We're having fun. We're having conversation. Hey, how about those Dodgers? Hate the Dodgers. And those Dodgers.
Angels. Angels.
Angels, okay, yeah, Angels. I'm absolutely not a baseball fan, so I don't know. And again, the thumb is something very particular. You have to ask the athletic commission that you're going to be at if it's okay to go ahead and do this. Okay, you also have to take a look at the glove. Okay, now for the sake of, I'm just getting tired of having to wrap this. Plus, we have enough. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that there. Okay, and as you can see, most guys will just go ahead and stay there. I personally like to do this and finish at the top of the wrist. Now, I'm going to do something because I know this tape that I'm using is actually really cool. I'm just going to go around once. Most athletic commissions do not allow you to do this too many times. So you go down around once. So your next step is to actually now attack the palm. Okay, so you're going to turn this over. And what happens is that if you did this right, you can actually take this, okay, and expose the thumb. Now, those of you who have Harbinger gloves or any bag gloves, you'll notice that there's a little thing for them to grip. Well, you're now creating that, okay, and you're simply going to pinch it and roll it. This one is going to open up this way. Okay, now here's a funny thing that a lot of people don't know. If you did this and you go like, that's not actually going to work, cut it. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, we've opened up the palm for him to be able to grapple. Now, what I was saying before is that you'll see some people, and you want to look at the tape, they'll actually preset their athletic tape up, and they'll actually split this in half. Okay, my tape is not being very cooperative, so we're going to go ahead and use scissors to start the tear. Make sure I don't cut myself because the red and the white would just look very interesting. Okay, and then you'll start to see them tear it like this. Me, I don't do that. Okay, I take a different shortcut. Okay, what I want to do is I want to go like this. Now remember what I said before. I don't know too many athletic commissions. I've had a wrap for several athletic commissions that will allow you to go over the knuckle. So what happens is that you start. I pull, and I normally start at the pinky. Okay, I start here. And I turn this around. Now, at this point, they're going to tell you like that's too much of the knuckles. Well, I haven't done the knuckles yet. What I do is I start to spin. Okay, so it basically creates a thread. Okay, and then when I finish, basically the athletic, the skinny part is going to be down, or the sticky part is going to be down. And I pull and I reach across the wrist, ending it here and tearing it. Then I do it again. One. Okay. Tucking it under. Okay. Flip it around. Okay. Again, we get to about right here. Okay. I pinch it. I start to roll it. Okay. I pull it through. Okay. Ask, make a fist. Okay. Good. Okay. Attach it to the wrist. Okay, and then we're going to do it one more time. Okay, so essentially, and you can do this several times. Everybody has their own little way of doing this. Okay, turn. Okay, twisty, 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 twisty. Okay, and this time I'm going to go right down the center. Okay. Now, before you do anything specific, okay, before you continue any further than that, you simply go like this and say, "How does it feel?"
That's good.
Feels good? Mm-hmm. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we want to start covering this. And you start covering it in strips. I've seen some very interesting things over the years where people actually start wrapping it all the way around. I go, no, remember, this is MMA. And even in boxing, they don't do this. And you're just going to cover. And I like to start with the X. Now, before you do this, I forgot to mention this. You want to take your finger and you want to do this. Make a fist, please. Okay, most athletic commissions require 1 inch away from the knuckles. So I'm putting my finger here, and I'll call the athletic commission, and you'll pretend that you're part of the athletic commission, and I'll say, is that okay? If they say no, then we'll pull it away. Okay? If they say okay, then I'll just continue, and I'll actually sometimes just draw a line saying this is where they said it was okay. Okay, now from right in here, you have to use your imagination, and we're going to basically start taping around. Okay, and like I said, I'm not going to completely complete this because it's just like I'm not going to do this whole speed motion where I have to finish this way and I have to finish that way. Basically, what you're doing is you're just creating a support mechanism for the fighter to be able to haul up and away. And at the very, very end, I'm going to actually end here. At the very, very end, you just want to pat this down, and throughout the wraps, you just want to go ahead and feel it out, so on and so forth. Now, one of the other things that I said is that sometimes the athletic commission says you have to do something with this. So you can actually tuck this, okay, bring it back up and around, okay. Okay. Anyway, bring it up and around. Sometimes you'll have to actually tuck that in. Like I said, I'm not trying to get too particular here. Okay, long, and bring it all the way up again and pack again. Okay, my suggestion is that when you get this, get the decent kind. Don't buy the one from Big Five. Take the time well before you ahead of time and buy it from Tidal, Rev Gear, any of those. They have little perforations on the sides, very easy to tear from the side. But as you can see, when you splintered it, I have to take the scissor. All right, so that's basic way. Go ahead and turn it up and around. As you can see, the palm's completely open. I'll fix this later. Okay, completely opened. Okay, and I'm not going to put it in the glove right now, but this is generally how you want to wrap it for MMA. So we have our gripping capability, we have our knuckle protection, and we have our support through here.